Hi, Pisces. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for August of 2019. This month, there is going to be a lot of activity at the beginning of the month in your sixth house of work, health, and service. And over the course of the month, that emphasis is going to shift, and you're going to find that some relationship themes start cropping up. And I think we're going to begin with Mercury. And Natha, you had some thoughts about what Mercury is up to for Pisces this month, yeah?
Yeah, hi Pisces. So Mercury, our planet of communication, of mental stimulation, the way that we make ourselves heard, is going to be beginning in the sign of Cancer, and that's in your fifth house. And we've just finished Mercury retrograde, so you're still doing some cleanup work around communicating about your self-expression, around what gives you pleasure, what makes you feel really creative. And you'll get to finish up those thoughts and those kinds of conversations. And then Mercury enters the sign of Leo, which is your sixth house, on August 11th. And so it's going to have a shift into conversations and things that are more work oriented and even health oriented and even very detail oriented. And Mercury likes to be in the sixth house. So I think that this will feel good to you. And at the very end of the month, Mercury moves into Virgo, and Mercury also likes to be in Virgo. And that's going to be in your seventh house, and that's not until the 29th, but then you get to work on exploring some communication in your relationships. I think that that's always nice. It always feels like a good thing to do, especially for you Pisces who can get distracted. But I think that as long as you're in sync with what Mercury is doing, that you can really make it work for you. And Julia is going to tell us about Venus and Mars.
All right, thanks, Natha. Yeah, so I'm going to talk about Venus and Mars now because they're both moving from your sixth house of work, of routines, of health, into your seventh house of partnership of all kinds. That can be romantic partner, that could be business partner. So when both of these planets are in your sixth house for the first half of the month, I'll start with Venus. Venus is the planet of beauty, art, relationships. So if you have any type of job that requires creative work, this is going to be a great time to get a lot of stuff done, like if you're a designer, while Venus is in there until the 21st. Also, in terms of relationships and love, this could be a month where you might get a crush, maybe at work, either on a customer, a client, or a coworker. So watch out for that. And also in terms of like routines and stuff, Venus is the planet of beauty. So you might also want to start picking up and trying some new beauty routines perhaps this month too. Then when she moves into your seventh after the 21st, you're really, really going to focus on partnerships of all kind. It's a really great time if you're single to get out there and meet someone new, or if you're already partnered up to really, really enjoy that time with your partner. Then when Mars is in the sixth house until the 17th, you're going to feel really energized to get a lot of stuff done at work. Now, the sixth house is also the house of health, and Mars can sometimes bring things like inflammation also to the picture. So if you have any health conditions that involve that, you might want to just be a little bit more mindful and supportive of them. Mars also rules blood, so things like anemia and stuff like that, if you have any sensitivities to that, things to just be aware of. And then when Mars moves into your seventh house after the 17th, Mars is a very sort of passionate and driven planet, but sometimes it can be a little bit on the feisty side too. So there may be some disputes, maybe with business partners, maybe also with romantic partners as well. But since Venus is also in the house, the same house at around that time, it shouldn't get too far. Jamie, what are you seeing with the moons this month?
Yes. I want to set this chart back to the beginning of the month, and I do want to talk also a little bit about Uranus, which is here in your third house, Pisces, traveling along, and it's a slow-moving planet, so it's taking about 7 years to traverse your area of communication. But this month, something interesting is happening, and that is that Uranus is turning retrograde. It's pivoting. And so there may be a monkey wrench thrown into your communications. And, being Pisces means, I think, a lot of vagueness. And it's very possible that people tend to project onto you. stuff that they're imagining that you are, but that you're really not. And so when communication gets to be a challenging area, I think that it can really sometimes just roll out of control. So stay alert, stay oriented in your communications as Uranus is moving retrograde, which is right around the 11th of the month. So then we have a couple of lunations on the 15th. We have got a full moon in Aquarius, which falls right here in your 12th house. A full moon is always, it has the sun and the moon opposite to each other, and it tends to be a time of high emotion. Now, you might think that the moon in Aquarius is not all that emotional because Aquarius is an air sign, and you would be right. But this moon also may tell us something about what comforts you and how to soothe yourself when emotions are high. And this falls in your 12th house, which is the 12th house is the house that Pisces rules and is associated with. It's a house of retreat, of solitude, even escape. So if basically what I'm saying is if emotions get too high during the full moon around the 15th, then you might find yourself taking a step back, taking a more objective view, distancing yourself, and beating a retreat to process what is going on. Now, at the end of the month, there's going to be a new moon, and that is on the 30th, right here in Virgo. And so those Virgo themes and those seventh house themes of relationship, partnership, connecting, negotiating, contractual obligations are emphasized under the new moon. And the new moon is a time for planting seeds for things that can grow, especially in the upcoming month. So, and the thing that we know about Virgo as the seventh house sign for Pisces is that Pisces does have a tendency to be vague. And sometimes that's, just because maybe you're tired today, maybe you're sleepy, maybe you are not feeling very coherent. And so you can be vague sometimes. And so that means that you sometimes need a partner to help you be more meticulous, more detailed, and more rigorous in your relating. So this month has an abundance of that. And so what I would watch out for is that there may be some criticism that comes down with that. The criticism may come out of your mouth in a rare moment of, more Virgo style, pointed and sharp communications. Or it may come from your partner who is saying, why can't you have yourself together a little bit more? But either way it comes down, I think that a good, healthy dose of Pisces compassion is just what's needed to moisten the dry earth of that Virgo seventh house this month. So balance, it's a good thing. Well, that's all we have for you today, Pisces. I hope you enjoyed it. Come back next month and look for our September horoscope, and we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.